Hey guys, the footage you're about to see is done by a professional. I've been doing this for over 25 years. This footage is for entertainment value only. Please do not try this at home.
So you want to shoot fast, huh? I'm finally waking up today. A lot of people ask me, well, how do I get to the next level? Well, you get to the next level by being the first one on the range and the last one to leave.
Hi, I'm Jerry Miculek and welcome to this episode of Shoot Fast at Miculek.com. What I'll have today is the AR series of rifles. I've got some examples here and we're going to go through them relatively quick and give you an idea of what they are and why they evolved into what they are. So what I have here is an early Colt AR. It's a semi-automatic version of the A1 Colt, issued back I think in 1963. They came into circulation and they were officially issued in 1968. So they've been around quite a while. The idea of this whole system was to give the soldier on the ground a lightweight firearm with a lot of horsepower, a lot of firepower, lightweight ammunition, lightweight gun. Even came with a carry handle. This is kind of unusual for a military style carbine or rifle actually have a carry handle. And it's actually smart when you stop and think about it. A soldier's life is extreme boredom followed by moments of extreme terror. So he's going to be carrying this thing a lot more than he's going to ever shoot it. So you have a handle. It doesn't sound like much until you're out in the woods toting this thing around for weeks at a time. So it was a good design, lightweight, a lot of firepower, a really good design in the aspect that it had minimum parts. Give you a quick overview of how this particular system works. It uses a direct gas impingement. So we have an empty firearm here. If you notice this little silver tube inside the handguard, the idea of this tube, it captures the gas right here under the front sight assembly. It circulates back, goes into the bolt carrier, it opens the bolt carrier. And what that means for the soldier, very minimum parts, easy to maintain. So with a system like this, field maintenance was pretty much that easy. Break the whole thing down and get it going. If you needed to service it, needed to take apart, clean it, daily routine maintenance was easy. As you can see, access to the trigger group is just that easy. Do the push pin. So lightweight, a lot of firepower, a very good design. I actually had a chance to talk to Eugene Stoner for quite some time back in Vero Beach some years ago, and he told me the ins and outs and how the government actually screwed up the ammunition on the first issue rifles and made them malfunction prone. But now it is the most proven battle rifle out there. So it's a very good system if you stick with the right ammunition. So that's just a basic A1, 20-inch barrel, lightweight, fixed handle. We'll go to the next evolution of it, what's pretty much issued now to most military groups. Law enforcement would be the M4 style. It's basically an upgraded A1. You notice it has a brass deflector for left or right-handed use. It has a forward assist assembly. And this came in later in Vietnam. So should you encounter a malfunction, basically you could bump the forward assist, drive the bolt home, fire the problem out. So it offered some added reliability to the package. It had a different barrel contour, shorter barrel, 16 inches. This one has a free-floated handguard. You notice it does not touch the barrel. It attaches to the receiver. And what this does for the whole system is it makes the gun a lot more accurate. Free-floating barrel, of course, when it's hot, is not influenced by any contact whatsoever with the handguard. So this would be an M4 style, adjustable buttstock. If you have body armor in, or you just want to make the whole system compact, you're in an automobile, you're in an armored vehicle, you can shorten it up. They added the A2 pistol grip, had a little bit of a finger groove to it, textured on the back. So that would be a basic M4. Now this would be the modern sporting rifle. This is my competition, Smith & Wesson PC15. It's made by the Performance Center. It's a forged upper and lower. Has a match grade barrel, a totally free floating handguard. You notice this handguard is set up in segments. I can add Picatinny rails, bipods, sights, whatever. You also notice on this one, I have an auxiliary red dot on the side. Close quarter shooting, I can flip over to the red dot. If I need to go out and touch something at long range, I have a 1x6 power optic here with a lit reticle should I need it. So it offers a lot of flexibility in a small package. There again, the firepower is only limited by the size of the magazine. Usually my competition package, I'll have anywhere from a 20 round to a 100 round beta mag. So this thing will run with just about any good quality magazine that you have, that you need at the time. So this is my competition gun. You can see the evolution of it from the A1. Quite a different horse there. Same basic platform, different furniture. Another good thing about this whole system is you really don't have to be a gunsmith to work on them. You get a few action wrenches, anybody can change barrels, bolt assemblies, check the headspace. It's a parts gun, it's a tinkerer's gun. If you can buy a part, you can pretty much retrofit it yourself with just a little bit of common sense and just a little bit of know-how. You can make this into whatever you see on the table here relatively easy. So also have M&P15 22. Very logical evolution of the modern sporting rifle. 22 long rifle, guys. It's just fun to shoot, cheap. Also has a 25 round mag or a 10 round mag. The same adjustable buttstock. You can put any optic or sighting system you want on it. Just a good platform. And this is what the AR replaced, guys. This was the M14. This is an M1A, which is basically a semi-automatic. This is a 30 caliber, uses a 20 round magazine. It's a pretty heavy firearm. What they found was that the average soldier didn't need the reach or the limiting factor of a 20 round magazine for his job. So when he started issuing the ARs, the guy could carry a whole lot more ammunition, and within a couple of 100 yards it's just about as effective as a full 30 caliber round. So you had a lighter weight package, more ammunition, easier to carry, so it was a win for everybody. Another interesting aspect of the AR systems of firearms is where, like we talked about earlier with the direct gas impingement with the gas tube. This is a 20-inch barrel, so the gas port is here, and you can see how far it is from the bolt assembly compared to an M4. This has a 16-inch barrel, and the gas assembly would be right here, so it's considerably a bit closer. If you put them overlapping, you're looking at probably about a 5-inch difference where the gas port is. So what that means to the manufacturer of the firearm and the end user is that the gas port pressure has to match the ammunition, and it has to match the bolt weight and the buffer assembly in the stock. So this platform looks very close to the original AR, but it's a vastly different design on the interior. The buffer assembly in the stock is totally different. The gas port is located different. The way the receiver is cut to feed ammunition out of the magazine is different. Anytime you affect the standard AR system with gas ports, bolt weights, buffer weights, it really starts to affect the cycle time of the gun. So that's something we're going to get into with the competition gun here. My competition AR has an adjustable gas block. So what that allows me to do, I'm not shooting NATO spec ammunition in my firearm, but if I choose to, I can regulate the gas system so it doesn't overpower the bolt assembly. I also run a lighter weight bolt and a lighter weight buffer assembly in there, in the buffer assembly here, a different spring, different return spring, a different trigger mechanism. So even though it looks the same on the outside, the internals of the rifle are set up to play games. I'm not going to use this thing in really harsh conditions. I'm going to baby it. I'm not going to shoot 1,000 rounds in between cleaning. A standard rifle like this is set up for extreme conditions. So the way the gas assembly is, it's actually overpowered. It'll run the gun dry, it'll run it dirty. This gun is made for minimum amount of recoil, so I run just enough gas to operate the system and lock the bolt back, whereas a military grade or a standard AR is set up to cycle in very harsh conditions. These little play guns like we have them set up here are a totally different ball of wax. So we have a different outcome of what we want the rifle to do. So we tweak them for that extreme. So they look similar, but on the inside there are a lot of differences going on there. So we're going to talk about ammunition next and give you some insights into what ammunition and how it affects the gun. You notice from the earlier examples of the rifles that the AR system was considerably bit smaller and lighter than the M14. So let's even go back another step. What we have here is an M2 round, standard M1 Garand 03 Springfield round, back from World War I, World War II, all the way up until the 1950s, probably 1958. This was standard military round, using the light machine guns. It's relatively big. It's a full 30 caliber. That's a 150 grain ball round. Let's look at the evolution of that. And this is a 308 or 762 by 51 NATO. That's what the M14 used. It's still a full 30 caliber 150 grain bullet doing the same velocity. It's a little bit shorter. The invention of ball propellants allowed that cartridge to be smaller, and the whole idea behind that was same performance, smaller package. The whole platform that fired this cartridge could be smaller, and you could carry more ammunition. It was more compact. So the evolution of this, as the service rifle went, would be the 5.56 round. First introduced in the Colt AR-15's M16 round was a 55 grain full metal jacket bullet, specified at about 3250, I think, or 3220 feet per second. So it's just a 55 grain bullet. It's a third the weight, but you can see the whole idea behind the cartridge was to make it smaller so the soldier could carry more ammunition, also make the firearm lighter. Through the years, the amount of equipment that the soldier has to carry has increased, so the least amount of weight that you can burden him with, the more he can do. So this round was to address the problem of size and also effectiveness of the cartridge. The 55 grain bullet in the original design was made to where when you fired it, it was marginally stabilized. So we have a 55 grain full metal jacket bullet here. If you marginally stabilize this round, as the original M16 was, when it hit a target of any sort, it had a tendency to tumble. And if it got sideways, that was pretty effective. If it totally inverted, well, basically you had a soft point bullet, 22 caliber, hitting directly backwards. So a lot of terminal ballistics here with a smaller projectile. What they were finding in combat was the 30 caliber round was great at 800 to 1500 meters. Most engagements, especially Vietnam era, were almost within 100 yards or less. So the smaller round, you could carry more, less recoil, more on-target performance. So it was the evolution of the small arms for the individual soldier. So this is a 55 grain ball round. It evolved into what we use now is the green tip, as they call it, is a 62 grain. It has a hardened penetrator in the nose. It's a 5.56 pressure, and that's something else you want to consider, guys. Even though that cartridge looks exactly as this 223 round, it's actually loaded to a higher pressure. Also, if it's a true NATO round, if you look on the head stamp, this little circle with the X in it designates NATO. So what that means to the cartridge is the NATO primer is harder than a standard commercial cartridge. It's also loaded to a higher chamber pressure. And also the big difference in what you want to concern yourself with is the radius of the projectile. You notice, I don't know if you can see it here on camera, but if your barrel is not correctly throated, and what a throat means in a rifle barrel is how far the rifling is from the case mouth. A 5.56 round, the way the radius is on the bullet, it's actually a longer, basically shoulder sticking out of the case. So if your barrel is not correctly throated for the 5.56 round, this bullet could actually contact the rifling, and if you were to fire it in a 223 platform, it could cause excessive chamber pressure. So you want to be aware of the 5.56 round, harder primer, different bullet contour, higher chamber pressure. The commercial 223 round, softer primer, totally different contour on the bullet, and less chamber pressure. So when you fire these cartridges in a AR style or modern sporting rifle, that's where the adjustability of the gas port comes in. I can tune my match gun to shoot either one of these. I have a 5.56 chamber, and not overpower the platform. So that's just some of the differences between a 223 round and a 5.56. We'll take it on to the next one. This is a frangible projectile. This is actually a copper and polymer bullet. You can shoot steel targets with it pretty much point blank, and it's totally safe to do that. So pretty interesting cartridge. Another interesting fact, 22 long rifle. Bullet diameter is 222 thousandths. 5.56 diameter is 224. Only 2 thousandths of an inch difference from the 22 long rifle actual bullet diameter. So let's take a look at some of the projectiles themselves. We'll start off with the standard 55 grain ball load. Go to a 55 grain soft point. And here is a 40 grain 224 diameter Hornet bullet. This is a 35 grain non-toxic Hornady bullet. Here is a 52 grain Hornady AMAX bullet. Very accurate bullet, by the way. This is a 68 grain Hornady match bullet. You see they're getting a little longer, more aerodynamic, higher ballistic coefficients. This is a 75 grain Hornady match round with a candelore. This is their latest match projectile. I was actually shooting some of these this morning out at 400 meters, and they were pretty much shooting 2.5 inch groups. So out of my competition rifle, I was pretty excited about that. And this is a 70 grain. No, I take it back. This is a 75 grain AMAX Hornady bullet. So that's some of the projectiles available in that bullet diameter that'll fit, and you can safely fire in an AR platform. So very versatile even in 22 caliber. So NATO green tip, all the configurations there, and then a 5.56 55 grain NATO round. Quite a bit of flexibility there. Okay, I got my trusty PC M&P15. I've got my timer here. I've got a bag of ammo and some loaded magazines. Let's go out to the range and make this thing sing a song. Okay, we finally made it out to the range again this evening. It's getting a little late. It's a little overcast, which is just about perfect shooting conditions today, so I have really no excuses. But what I have here today is my M&P15. This is a Performance Center 15. I've got all Vortex optics on it, the scope, the red dot, it's all Vortex, American Gold trigger. What I'm going to show you here is reaction time and rate of fire. So on that first target in the middle, I'm going to try to react and shoot 5 shots on target with the reaction time in about a second. So I'm going to go ahead and load it up. One thing you want to consider, guys, when you're shooting on a range with a rifle like this, anything with a compensator on it, this happens to be a Miculek compensator, by the way, it's very effective, and anytime you have an effective compensator, it really makes a lot of muzzle blast. If it's going to work good, it's going to be loud. So I always wear double protection here. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in, put my headset back on, and let's see if we can react and shoot 5 on target in a second. Target in the middle. Here we go. I got a little bit excited. I actually fired 6 rounds. Let's go ahead and count back. I'm a revolver shooter by trade, so I work in numbers of 6 at a time. So that was 5 rounds in a 108. Not quite what I was shooting for, but not a bad warm-up run. Let's go down range and take a look at the paper right quick and see what we're doing. That was 6 rounds. Like I said, I'm a revolver jockey. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all in the A box, a little bit low. So what I have to do as a shooter is remember that that scope is actually looking here, but the rounds are going to be about the center of that board, which is about 2 inch difference. So I'm going to tidy this up a little bit, see if I can crank out 5 in under a second with the reaction time. And that's what's going to be important. With reaction time, 5 shots on target. One of the things good about this timer, I can go back and look at my performance. So what I'm looking at is my first shot was a .55. That's a little bit sluggish. But the actual split times in between shots was really good. So we had a 14, a 12, a 13, a 14, and a 10. So all I need to do to make this time happen is to really get off that timer and jump in the center of mass a little bit quicker. A 55 is kind of slow at this range, so I'm going to listen really good for that timer, get in the center and punch out 5, see if we can make it under a second. Here we go. Now that was a little bit better. You saw how I was punching out right on the timer there? Let's take a look at it. A .96. Made it that time pretty easy, so. All right, 96 we had a 15, a 12, a 13, a 12. So we're running good splits. We made the time pretty easy. Let's go back and look at that again. Total time of .96 hundredths. Let's go downrange, take a look at it. Okay guys, we're a little over 5 yards here. I punched out 5 rounds in .96 hundredths of a second. Let's take a look at them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I got a little bit excited here on the last one. I started raising my head up. So, but they're all in the A box. They're all right center of the A box. But I know you're not happy with that. I'm not either. We're going to make it a little bit harder. We're going to go ahead and put 3 in the A and 2 in the head and try to keep it in under a second. So I'm going to react 3 in the body, 2 in the head in under a second. Okay, that was a .96 hundredths at about 6 yards to react and put 5 on target. So we're going to make it a little bit harder. I don't want you guys to go to sleep. I'm going to react, put 3 in the body, 2 in the head, and we're going to try to do the same 96 hundredths, maybe a little bit better. So it's a lot more work on my part here because I got more gun motion going. I got my double protection back on. Remember guys, when you load these things, you want to point them toward the berm before you drop the boat. Always safety first. Here we go. 3 in the body, 2 in the head with reaction time in under a second. Here we go. All right, didn't make it. Had a 106. We're going to do it again. We're going to tape it up. Okay guys, this is going to be 3 in the body, 2 in the head. We're going to try to do this in under a second, so it's very important that I get off the timer really quick again. Come into the target, start the trigger press. Pay attention to my shot count and move it when I need to. Let's see if we can do it again. Here we go, 3 in the body. A 102. Not too bad. 45 first split. Kind of walked them in there. I got 2 in the alpha, 1 right above the A box, and then 2 in the head. That was kind of sloppy, so we're going to tape it up and see if we can dress that up a little bit and make it look right. Okay, 3 in the body, 2 in the head with reaction time in about a second. Here we go. Now that one looked pretty good. Let's take a look at the timer. 0.98 hundredths of a second. 3 in the body, 2 in the head. That's pretty stellar right there. I'm pretty excited about that. Let me clear out and we'll go take a look at them. Clear chamber. All right, magazine out. Let's go take a look at what we did and kind of look at it on the timer. Okay, we've got, first shot was, let's take a look at the, actually it was 44 hundredths of a second to react and make the first shot. Second shot was 14 hundredths of a second later, and then another 1200. But what's important here is this one came in 15 hundredths and this one came in 13 hundredths. So it didn't take me but basically a hundredth of a second more to move on the target, just about almost a foot. So good vision techniques, good trigger techniques. You're able to move around on a target and make it sound really sharp. But I can see you're not happy with that at all. So we're going to move on to something a lot harder. I've got a V drill set up here, and this is going to be pretty good. Let's give it a whack. We'll show you a real fun drill to practice. This is actually 5 targets, but the way we're going to shoot it is going to be 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'll give you a walkthrough on it. Come on down range with me, and I'll give you an idea of what we're doing. We're going to be that same 5, 6 yards here. On reaction, we're going to come up and punch the center target twice. We're going to go to the right target twice. We're going to come back to the center twice. We're going to go to the left 2 shots. We're going to come back to the center 2 shots. We're going to go far right 2 shots. We're coming back to the center 2 shots. We're going far left 2 shots, and we're coming back to the center 2 shots. So by the time you finish all this, you're going to have 18 shots. It's like shooting 9 targets. But the secret here to make this really good and repeatable is to keep your shot splits relatively close. So you don't want to have a dead gun in between targets. So it teaches you target transition and also trigger cycle. One thing about this drill, if you lose attention just the slightest bit, you look back, you've lost it. So you have to really stay focused go for technique, go for consistency. It looks really good too. Okay, let's go ahead and do this V drill. This is going to be 18 shots, a lot of gun motion. I have to stay focused on what I want to see and where I want to go and where I've been. So it's a lot of fun. Let's make it happen, guys. Here we go. 18 rounds. And there is a V drill. Okay, the last run was about a 371 or 373. The big difference on that last one, my first shot was slow, it was a .71. With all this stuff stuck in my ears, it's really hard to hear this timer. So I'm gonna try to listen for this timer really sharp. Get off the first shot really good and keep it running. See if we can get about a 3.5 second run here. 18 rounds on 9 targets. Here we go. Here we go. Is it going? Oh, turned it off. Ah. Thought I was tone deaf. All right, guys, that looked good. Let me give it a test beep. All right, here we go. Here we go. Boy, am I deaf or what? Here we. Woo! I'm getting old. Let's try it like this. Here we go. I can barely hear it. Let's try it again. Here we go. All right, that was a little better. I could finally hear the timer. Let's take a look at it. 329. That's a lot quicker. First shot of 58. So let's go downrange, take a look at what we did. Pretty good. We got 10 in the middle. That's what we're supposed to have on this target. The 10 shots. We got our 2 here. 1 Alpha, 1 Charlie, close to the A box. We got an Alpha, got a Delta. I was a little excited there, pulling off the target. We got 2 Alpha, and we got a double. Yeah, that's a double. Well, I pulled one off right there. We'll have to do that again. Gotta try to listen for this timer. It's getting harder to hear. All right, here we go, guys. And that right there is a good run. 346, and they're all on target. So a 49 first shot. Let's go down and take a look at it. Now that right there was good. Good. Let's take a look at it. Let's count the hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. We got 2. Excellent. We got 2. Excellent. I like this. Oh, we got another 2 Alpha and another 2 Alpha. So we had 2 Alpha, 2 Alpha. We only have 1 Delta, 1 Charlie. So we did all that whole drill. That was 18 rounds on 9 targets, 3.46 hundredths of a second. 1 Alpha, 1 Delta. 1 Charlie, 1 Delta. I'll take that any day of the week, but did you hear the consistency of the splits? Let's go back and kind of review that. Ooh, yeah. The biggest split time of the whole sequence was a couple of 20s on the long transition. So it only took me 20 hundredths of a second to get from the center target to the far right. And then when I was there, a 17 split to make the shot and then to get back in the center. It's a good punching bag drill. Your vision techniques and your finger has to stay in coordination. And I do have to say it beats a double barrel shotgun any day of the week. Okay, we're on the back range, guys. We got the M&P15 22. The reason I brought this along to show you that, a 22 caliber rifle is a great training aid. I can shoot it on my steel challenge targets that I do with my handgun, so I can shoot a broader spectrum of targets that you probably have on your range now. So anyway, 22 long rifle, inexpensive to shoot if you could find 22 ammo, that is. But anyway, to just give you an idea, I'm gonna run showdown here, one of the steel challenge stages. I'm gonna shoot it like I would the pistol. And the way I shoot it with the pistol, being that I'm right-handed, I shoot the far left target, the close left target, and I'll swap all the way over to the far right target, and then the big one in the back, and then the center plate is going to be the stop plate. So I'm just going to run a few runs with the M&P15 and give you an idea what it sounds like. And good way to train, very inexpensive. We'll start from the low ready. Here we go. So we had a 185 for 5 targets total. First shot was a 7400. So let's do it again, see if we can beat that time a little bit. That was a little bit faster. That's a 173, so a lot of starting and stopping. Let's do another one. And that's a little bit faster. That's a 154. So you can see right there, there's a lot of good practice to be had with the 22s and the M&P15. It's really a fun gun to do it with. Okay, we've got a plate rack set up at 50 yards. This is an MGM plate rack. It's actually armor plate and it has an armor bunker in the front. I want to be at least 50 yards from steel when I'm shooting it with a centerfire rifle. I don't have frange ammunition. This is regular ball ammo. So you want to have a safe distance at all times when you try to do something like this. And this is quality target, so it actually won't shoot back. Okay, I've got my M&P. I've got some 55 grain ball. Let's go ahead and do a couple of runs on the plate rack and see what we can do here. Alright, we got 6 targets, 50 yards, total time 372. First shot was a 147, so actually we were running about a 46, a 44, 42, 41, right around there, about 45 hundredths of a second in between targets to shoot a plate rack at about 55 yards. So not bad at all. Now that's a little bit more like it. Total time 351, first shot a 159, so we were on them at about a 40, 35. We averaged about a 3,700 splits across the board, so it's about as good as it gets, guys. As it seems to be usual with the Shoot Fast series, I have my 5 bottles of cheap diet drink. This time we froze them, so this should be a little bit different. I've got some Hornady 52 grain AMAX bullets loaded up to the max. We got frozen 2-liter bottles. This should look really good, guys. Pay attention, here we go. This is part of the Shoot Fast. Here we go, ready? Now that was just fun right there. As you can see, a little bit of ice, a little bit of fluid makes for a good concussion. Fun stuff. Now that right there is just good stuff on the range. Looky here. Total destruction, dismemberment, and a fun way to make an icy. What can I say? We've got dispersion, looks like a good 5 yards each way. As you can see, a little bit of ice in there with that 52 grain AMAX really kicked the hydraulic effect out. So all in all, that was a good performance. Okay, we're going to continue the saga here. We got Melons versus Man. We got 52 grain AMAX. We got a Smith & Wesson PC15. Let's see who wins. Here we go. We're starting on the left, going to the right. Here we go. Never look back at your own work. It makes you miss. But there you have it. 3 melons, 4 shots. I win. Okay, we got a piece of watermelon way back here. Looks to be over 20 yards from the actual shot, so we're gonna kind of step it off. We're looking for the dispersion radius. It's a technical term when you're having fun on the range. Anyway, let's see what we got here. We got 1, 2, 3. We got about 19 big steps, so pretty good ways. Kind of expecting the damage here.
Cantaloupe was, watermelon was good. A lot of hydraulic effect. Cantaloupe, but we got some better stuff to shoot, so stick around one moment. Okay guys, we got our test medium down there. We have some cans of corn. We have some cheap shave cream. We got our 52 grain AMAX. Let's start on the left target. We're gonna shoot them slow with fire and for effect. That's a good way to say I'm lazy. Here we go. Left can of corn. Here we go. Wow. We gotta go set them up. Left can of corn. Here we go. As you can see, our test medium worked pretty good. It completely vaporized. I didn't even see a piece of the can leave. So I'm gonna shoot that center can again. That can of corn in the middle. 52 grain AMAX. Here we go. Wow, that is good stuff right there. We got one can of shaved cream still standing. Let's go ahead and pop him. As you can see, 223, my man, is a good thing. Beats the shotgun any day. So there you have it, guys. 5.56 versus can of corn. Corn loses every time. Give you an idea what the can looks like after a direct hit. Not too much there. The other one also just split it right in half, guys, right down the seam. It's pretty dramatic what it does at that distance, about 18 yards. What you want to remember when you're doing something like this, you want to be a safe distance. This shave cream also, it just fragged it all up. So if you're too close, this stuff can come back and do you some harm. But other than that, it's just fun to get out on the range and blast some stuff. I see we got one left there we didn't hit. This one actually bounced off the stick, so we're going to leave it alone. We're going to save this for another show. But other than that, the AR M&P15, quite a piece of hardware.
So what do you think? Wicked quick. That's all I can say about this platform, guys. I've enjoyed shooting these in 3-gun competitions forever. I've been doing this. The AR platform, guys, is exactly where you want to be in a modern sporting rifle. This PC-15 doesn't leave anything to want. The sighting system, the way it handles, just very quick. Anyway, I would like for you to subscribe to Miculek.com. The next episode is going to be on the 1911 pistol, and I think I could probably shoot that kind of fast too. So tune in and let's see what we can do.